Welcome. In this video, we'll go over how to create, navigate, and manage your projects within your organization. To create a new project, click this button and create new project here. Input fields marked with an asterisk are required to have an input, meaning you won't be able to create the project without filling them in. However, these details can be updated later if needed. For this example, let's rename the project, set the region, and choose this design code. There are additional fields down here, but since they aren't required, we'll leave them unchanged. Now, click Create, and just like that, your new job is set up. To confirm that it's been successfully added, click this button and look for the job title in the list. You can also use the search bar, which is especially useful if you have multiple projects. To open a project, simply click on it to open. Now, let's talk about project-wide changes in load settings, material settings, and analysis settings. Click this button, but be careful. Make sure you select the correct settings button. Clicking this Other Settings button applies changes only to specific component, while this one allows for project-wide modifications. Let's start with load settings. Here, you'll see a list of components organized in a hierarchy. At the top, we have the job name. Unchecking this will deselect all components under it. Next, we have the default load settings. These settings apply to newly created components. To verify this, let's try changing the value to 30, 30, 10, and remember this for later. Now let's add a new component and check if it followed the load settings we have set. Create new component design, leave these unchanged, and insert. Go to the load settings of this individual component, and as we can see, it automatically follows the default settings we just set. However, if we go back and change the default settings, let's say, for example, change this to 40, the previously added components won't be affected, as seen here. The settings of this component remained as it was when it was first created. If you want to modify an existing component, select that specific component here. For example, let's change the load settings of this component to 20, 10, 10, and save the changes. Now, let's verify. And the settings have been updated. To change load settings for multiple components at once, simply select the components, adjust the settings, and save. Let's try changing the wind speed to 120 of these two components. Let's check if the changes have been applied. We can see the update applied correctly to both. Now, analysis and material settings work a little differently. Instead of selecting specific components, you first adjust the settings and then you choose whether to apply them to all existing components or only to newly added ones. However, you can always override these settings for individual components as needed. This button here is for project-wide settings when adding floor trusses. We'll cover this in a separate video, so be sure to visit our YouTube channel or check our documentation for more details. But the logic is the same, however, it applies only to new components. If you want to analyze all components at once, let's go back here and click this, and the project will run the analysis for all components in the project. The share feature will be covered in another video as well, but briefly, this allows you to generate a shareable view of your project while preventing modifications from external viewers. Now let's talk about estimating your project. Click this button, and you can set the option required for your estimation here. You can export the estimate as a CSV or PDF file. If you need to upload files, click here. Currently, we support various industry standard file formats. Let's upload some TRE files. Select them all and click Open. Finally, in your profile settings, you can access our documentation for quick answers to common questions, send feedback, check your account usage, customize user settings, and log out of your account. That's it for today. I hope this video helped you understand project management in Paragon. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.